Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 1:05 a.m. and I just left my good Judy, Tanya Jean's house. We sat on the back patio for like 2 hours and just laughed and laughed. We had such a good night. We told stories. Let me put my lip balm on. And we had such a good time. I showed her Stephen Hill's vlogs. I need to catch up. I have like 2 or 3 that I'm behind on. And so I was showing her his introduction to Linda Jackson, his drag persona. We got laughing so hard because he reminds me so much of my friend Scotty. And so Tanya and I were like, oh, we were telling stories about Scotty. And so anyway, I was introducing her to Steven. We were laughing, watching his video, and we just had a good time. I got this coffee earlier today from Starbucks. I didn't order an iced coffee. I ordered just a hot coffee by accident. And it was so hot when I got it that I couldn't drink it. And then I went straight from Starbucks to go do a review at Joella's Hot Chicken. So I got a fountain drink there, this birch beer that they have. They have these sodas that are called Boylan sodas. It's B-O-Y-L-E-N. And they have like Shirley Temple, sparkling lemonade, cream soda, birch beer, root beer. So I got birch beer, and it's kind of like this reddish. It's like, she said it was like a mix between root beer and cream soda. But it was really, really good. It kind of tasted like sassafras root beer to me. So I drank that this afternoon while I was like working around the house and stuff. And I didn't drink my coffee. I just left my coffee in the car. My husband, I think, is texting me. He went over to Sarah's house tonight and took the dogs while I was taking a nap. And they were over there. Well, I was like uploading videos still when he went over there. And he was like, do you want to come over? We're going to have dinner and stuff. And I said, no, I think I'm going to take a nap. And then I'm going to go over and see Tanya Jean. And he was like, okay. So we took the dogs over there. But Boo Radley was like shaking so much that he brought him home. I was like asleep in the house. And, you know, the dogs weren't there. Alex wasn't there. And I literally fell asleep like that from my nap tonight. I fell asleep at like 8:30. And it was probably like 9:15, and all of a sudden, like, the bedroom door, like, slowly is opening, and it's because he was, like, holding Boo Radley, carrying him up the stairs, and I just, like, looked up, and I saw the door opening, and I was like, oh my God, I panicked so much, I, like, freaked out, right, and it was Alex, and I, like, looked at the clock, because it was like, I said, are you back already? And he goes, no, I just brought back Boo and Tucker, because Boo was shaking so bad over there. He takes Boo over, or Boo and Tucker, so that they can run around Sarah's yard with her dog, and they get along with her dog really well, usually, but today, for some reason, Boo Radley was not having it, and he was wanting to be on Alex's lap the whole time, and so Alex would pick him up and put him on his lap, and then he would jump down, and so he just brought him home, because he said he didn't seem happy, and he didn't want to, like, bring Boo back, but leave Tucker, because then, you know, they would freak out or whatever, because they're always together. So we brought him back. Well, then he leaves, and he's, like, I guess he hadn't even, like, really left yet. He, like, went to his car, and I fell asleep, like, that quick, like, back asleep. And all of a sudden, I kind of, like, woke up, and I looked, and I saw the bedroom door opening again, and I was like, oh my God, I, like, freaked again. And he was looking for these scarves, because Alex bought these. They're these, like, camo print scarves. He gave me one that's, like, blue, and then he has one that's, like, green, and they're really cool. They're, like, long scarves, you know, that you, like, wrap around your neck and stuff, in your head, and, like, kind of fashionable scarves, but they're, like, insect repellent. So he was looking for those because they were sitting outside tonight, just, like, talking and stuff, and I think they were, like, sitting out there having, like, a bottle of wine or whatever, and so he was looking for those. He's like, but they're in your car, I forgot. So I was like, are you coming back in again? Because I'm not going to fall asleep if you do. I keep on getting freaked out. And I've been watching, like, a scary movie every day while I've been, like, uploading my videos and stuff. So today I watched the 2015 version of Poltergeist. I don't know that I've seen it before. I thought I had, I think maybe I've seen like parts of it, but I started like watching it and I was like, this doesn't look super familiar to me. Like, I don't know that I've seen a lot of this. My camera battery is already on half. Please tell me. I have another battery in here, I think. Oh, thank God. I was like, if I don't have another battery, because it's already at the halfway point. So I'll just vlog until it dies and then I'll change the battery. But anyway, so I fell back asleep with Boo and Tucker. Boo was like, I like woke up and he was like out of it. He was so asleep. Those little guys had such a day today. They ran around the backyard for a long time, and they went over to Sarah's and ran around the backyard with her dog, and then Alex and Sarah picked up Thai food, and so they like rode in the Jeep, and I just think that it was a lot for, you know, Boo Radley, just, he can't handle a lot of different stuff, you know, and I think it just was a lot for him today. So I woke up from my nap, and like usually when I wake up, you know, the dogs wake up immediately because I start moving, and I woke up and he just was like still half asleep on the pillow, and I was like, Boo, and he just kind of like looked up at me. So anyway, I had such a great nap though tonight. I wanted to get to the pool all day today, but it was like super cloudy and overcast most of the day. I had this recovery service commitment that I had to do today, and I did that. And then right after that was done, it looked like it was gonna rain, because I was gonna get up today and I was gonna go to the pool for like 2 hours and then go to this recovery commitment thing. I was literally just gonna throw on these sweat shorts that I have on and this black t-shirt and go right to it. And then like come back from it and go to the pool for like another 2 hours. And because I'm really trying to go to the pool a lot this summer and really use the pool a lot. And so I thought, well, I would do that and then do my videos after that. But it ended up being like so overcast and cloudy. It's really cloudy right now. So I was hoping tomorrow would be nice and we could go to the pool, because Alex is off tomorrow, but like the next 3 weekends he has like meetings and stuff that he has to do on Saturdays, so that he won't be able to go to the pool on Saturdays, but he will be on, you know, Sundays. So anyway, but afterwards it was so cloudy and stuff, I was like, I'm just gonna go do this review video. And I did a review video at Joella's Hot Chicken, which I hadn't been to in a while. I was like, what can I do a review of that I can get my dinner to, because I knew that Alex was getting dinner with Sarah, and I just didn't want to sit outside and eat dinner that like during the early evening tonight. I just kind of wanted to relax around the house. In all honesty, I was kind of excited that he was going to take the dogs over there. I was like, a couple hours that I get to just kind of relax and rest, you know. I mean, I love my dogs, don't get me wrong, but it was, I'm with them all the time, you know what I mean? So, for some reason, I thought, oh, Joella's Hot Chicken sounds good. Now, if you haven't seen my review I did, Joella's Hot Chicken is this restaurant here in Indianapolis. There's like 2 or 3 of them here, and they also have them like in Kentucky and maybe Ohio or Louisiana. I can't remember where else they have them. There's like 3 states they have them in. It's really good, you guys, and it's like, they have chicken sandwiches, and then they just have like, I think like fried chicken. And you can get like different levels of how hot you want it. And then they have sides like mashed potatoes, Parmesan. Is it Parmesan? No, it's something, I can't remember what kind of like fries they have, but they're like Parmesan truffle fries or something. And then they have red skin potatoes, mashed potatoes. I got those today with this sauce, and it was called Kickin' sauce. And I thought it said chicken sauce, and it's like this like hot sauce. It was really good. And then I got the root beer, or the birch beer. But I really went there to try this banana pudding that they had, which I have the rest of it at home. I'm so excited to eat it when I get home. And I'm not like, I usually don't like banana splits and stuff like that, but this banana pudding is really good. Well, that was why I went there to go do the review. And then I ended up also reviewing the red skin mashed potatoes with the Kickin' sauce. But I also got some vegan chicken. Like, you get 2 pieces of this vegan chicken, which looks absolutely gross, but it is so delicious. And then they have sauces, and I got this like JoJo sauce, like Joella's JoJo sauce, that you dip it in. It's like a honey mustard kind of. And then there's like a hot barbecue sauce that I got with it too. And then I got macaroni and cheese, and then I had my mashed potatoes at home, and then I also had leftover coleslaw, so I ate it with that. That was my dinner tonight, and it was really good. I was like, oh God, this is so good. So anyway, oh, I think my husband texted me. Well, somebody texted me. It might have been Tanya Jane. I may have left something at her house. I should probably check it. Go in here and check who texted me. Because if it's Tanya and she's going to sleep, if I left something over there. I took my hat in there. I took my phone. I think I have everything I need. So I did that review. And when I was there, the girls that worked there was like 4 girls, and they all came to the window and they're like, do you make YouTube videos? And I was like, yeah. And they were so excited. They're like, oh my God, we watch your review. It was so fun. I don't know why, but they recognized me from my review channel. And they were like, oh my God, we watch your reviews. We love your this one girl was like, we love your Dunkin' Donuts reviews, that was so cool to me that it was from my review channel, you know? Nobody ever notices me in public anyway. It like almost never happens. So it was so fun, and they asked to have a picture with me. It was just really, really sweet. So that was like, that totally made my day. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's my husband. He sent me a video. I don't know what it says.
Sarah, I think obsessed with what?
I don't know what she's obsessed with. He was like playing the video for me. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Okay, they were playing some game, and like Sarah couldn't figure out what the Great Lakes were. And she kept on forgetting, like he played this video of her like forgetting these, like she got like all the lakes and they were missing one, and I was like, it's Lake Huron. But anyway, there was something else. Oh, I tweeted out that I was gonna vlog. Let's see if anybody says what I should talk about today in my vlog. Let's see who said anything about my vlog. Let's see. I tweeted out, time to vlog. Oh, I got 8 responses. Chloe did like a Kermit gif that's going like this, Kermit the Frog. Chris said, forever my favorite Peter Monn content will be the vlogs. Drive safe tonight. Some say it's like a podcast. Oh, I love it. Ashley did a little gif of the woman that from Saturday Night Live. It's like, I'm 50. Is she from Mad TV or Saturday Night Live? I can't remember. She's like, I'm 50 and I like to kick. Lisa in the Cult Jam was like, yes, with blue hearts. Alex said, it's 1 a.m. here in Cincinnati. It's bedtime, LOL. Jules said, I'm 50 and I like to kick. And then somebody else was putting like drama on that. So. So anyway, this is why I don't get on social media. Tonight, like sitting there with Tanya, I was like tweeting stuff out and whatever, but because we were just having fun and being silly. I was like, do you ever like hang out with your good Judy and you get laughing so hard you can't breathe? We were laughing so hard tonight, just telling stupid old stories. Do you ever do that? So anyway, that was today at Joella's Hot Chicken, and then I came home, and then I made my videos, and then I ate my dinner while I was sitting there, and I was watching this game show. Some of these game shows on Game Show Network are so dumb. I don't know what this game show is. It's something like you try to get 21 or something with these cards. It was so stupid. Oh my God, you guys. Well, thank God this happened to me right before I got out at 2 minutes and 39 seconds. My battery is dying. So hold on a second. I was like, this vlog is not wanting to be filmed tonight. I truly, like, when I'm looking at the camera, I'm like, I don't look that heavy. And then, like, I watch it back, and you can totally see, like, where my beard goes up and down. And, like, I miss it completely, like, trying to get this straight line. And I'm like, oh, my God, these vlogs. Okay, and what is going on here? It's, like, set so far back, it's making me, it's cutting, okay, there, I think that's okay. So, anyway, I did that, and then I made some videos when I came home. Oh, I did a booktube, a vlog, too. But it was taking me so long to upload that I'm just going to upload it tomorrow. So, yeah, there's that. So I may talk a little bit about some stuff I talked about in the book vlog. I may talk about that tonight, but and that was it. And then like I watered all of my plants on my back patio because they're dying horribly. I have watered them like, okay, well, first of all, when it rains, I don't typically water them that day because I'm like, okay, they're getting a lot of water. And I know people are gonna be like, you're over-watering them. You really cannot over-water these flowers, you know, for like the yard and stuff. And our flowers out front are doing fantastic. The flowers in back are literally dying. Like, and I deadheaded them and everything, and that did not help. It made it just 10 times worse. Like, I came out the next day and Alex was like, your plants are like dead. I have like 1 or 2 that's still okay, but like 2 of them just like look so bad. So I don't know, I'm like kind of real sad about it. I'm thinking about maybe going and getting 2 more plants and just being like, and I don't know, trying to save those, but if they don't make it, at least I'll have 2 more plants out there, you know? The other thing is, I slept in my contacts. Well, I've slept in my contacts like the last 2 nights, and my eyes are really hurting. I have to take them out tonight. I have to take my contacts out. Because I've been swimming in my contacts too. I mean, obviously I don't open my eyes in the pool, but... So, I think tomorrow maybe, if I have some time, I will go to Meyer. Meyer Nursery has great plants and flowers. I think maybe I will get 2 more plants if they have them for my back patio, because I'm loving having my plants out there. And then I will keep the plants I have and try to keep them going. Oh, you know what maybe I could do? This is so bad, but maybe I could just go out there with some scissors and just cut off like the dead parts of the plant. There's not really a whole lot. There's only probably like, on each purple plant, there's probably like 8 flower buds left. I mean, it's not a lot, it's bad. And so tonight I watered all my plants. I'm trying to keep them going, you know. My neighbors were like letting me use their hose, and they're still like letting me use their hose, but they moved it from like the ground where it was real easy for me. Like I could just go over and turn it on and like grab the hose and come over, and then I had this like water gallon bottle that I would fill up, and I would just like fill it into my plants. And so like I would water each plant like twice, right? But then they got this thing that they put on like their wall next to their sliding glass door for their like hose to wrap around. And so now I'm like, I looked at that battery. I was like, does this say it's like half full? I'm like, if it's half full, I'm gonna be so over it. So anyway, and they're like, you can still use our hose, just come up on the patio. But like, they sit in there and they're watching TV, and I don't like want to go up on their patio when they're like watching TV, you know? And I don't know why it would matter, because their dog comes up on our patio all the time and we don't care, you know? But I don't want to just like go up there when they have like their, you know, door open, I can see inside, and just like be like, hi, I'm getting your hose, you know what I mean? So I have to fill it with the kitchen sink and take it outside, fill it, take it outside. I mean, it's whatever, it's easy, but it just is time consuming. So what just happened? I just hit something by accident on my steering wheel. So I watered the plants and stuff. It's just gonna get hotter and hotter this summer. It was hot today, it was like 91. Tonight it was so nice outside, there was a little bit of a breeze. It's 73 right now. There was a little bit of a breeze outside. Tanya kept on saying, she's like, it is a perfect summer night. It is such a perfect summer night. And she and I were talking about like if Alex and I go somewhere, we didn't talk much more about it. We probably won't end up, I mean, the thing is we want to go somewhere, but like we know we probably shouldn't go somewhere, so we'll probably end up not going. I don't know. I honestly don't know what will happen. We need to talk more about it. But it is what it is right now. I'm completely content just, you know, staying here and enjoying the pool and stuff. Actually, I had to go to the bank today, and I was talking to the woman at the bank, and she was telling me her kids that live in our township where we live, they go back to school on the 30th. So like as of the 30th, the pools are going to be pretty empty. Like there won't be a lot of kids up there anymore, you know, the 30th of July, which seems so early to me that kids are going back to school then. But she said that the schools have a pretty good like system in place for going back during the COVID and everything like that. I don't know, it all seems like stuff's gonna start changing here soon, you know? It's interesting to me how, as of Thursday in Indianapolis, you basically have to have a mask anywhere that you go where there are other people, and how many people are still not wearing masks when you literally can get fined. I mean, like, you can get fined for not having a mask, and there still are, like, so many people. And I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that, like, store owners and stuff aren't like, if you don't have a mask on, you can't come in. I mean, basically, it's a law at this point, you know? So it kind of surprises me that store owners and stuff aren't saying stuff about it, but, you know, it's whatever. I mean, it's not just whatever to me. I'm like, I don't know. I think we, you know, as human beings, we sometimes have an innate resistance to things in life, you know, but if we know that, like, somebody posted this thing, and it was like a live music venue. I don't know if this was on Facebook or Twitter, but like their sign, you know, it was like a place you'd go hear like a concert or something, like a small place, you know, and like here in Indianapolis it would be like the Vogue, and outside it said, if you want to hear live music again, wear a mask, basically saying like, wear a mask if you want to get the numbers down. I don't know the truth with the numbers, okay, or with the mask. I don't know if the masks work. You know, I hear the masks are for you, masks are for me, you know, I don't know. All I know is I'm asked to do it, and so I do it. It's not that difficult for me to wear a mask places, okay? I don't have any medical conditions that stop me from having to wear a mask. I can wear a mask in a store. If it helps somebody else or it helps me, why would I not do that? I just don't, it's just not that big of a deal, you know? Like, I don't know, it's a lot. It's crazy to me. That car was going really fast. So anyway, something is rolling around back here though. I don't know what it is. It's not my coffee cup, because my coffee cup is right over here, because I didn't get to use this today, which I was very sad about, because I got the hot coffee instead. Oh my god, okay, so did I talk about the book 10 last night that I'm reading, which is by Gretchen McNeil? Alright, so I ended up buying like 5 more books on Audible yesterday. I know. But, oh, and I also, so I had to like log in and log out of my Audible. If you ever have an Audible book that you've purchased but it's not showing up in your library, like I Googled it to like see what to do, and like one of the things it said on the Audible site was, I'm gonna turn the air off and open the window. It said, log out and log back in, and when I did that, the book that I had pre-purchased, or, you know, whatever, it showed up, the Hank Green book, so I do have that. But when I got done vlogging last night, I listened to like another hour of that book 10 by Gretchen McNeil. Okay, while it is very cheesy written, like the dialogue and stuff is totally cheesy, and like the background story of the teenagers and stuff, they're all like seniors in high school, is cheesy. Like, it is a really good thriller. Like, it's very scary, and I'm like kind of obsessed with it at this point. Like, I have 2 hours left, and I may just listen to the whole thing tonight, because it is really that good. It is really, really good. By the way, it's about these kids, and they're all on an island, and there's like one of them is dying after another, and they can't figure out what's going on, and it's very good though. By the way, I don't know what documentary I watched, but I was watching some documentary, and in it, it was that Cherry. Oh shoot, Cherry, remember I was talking about this not too long ago? It was a documentary on Amazon Prime, and it was called like Cherry Grove or something, and it was a part of Fire Island where, like, all the gay guys went. I mean, Fire Island is like predominantly gay anyway, but like, they kind of talked about it like through the years, like since like the 40s and 50s, and like, okay, so I watched that. Well, there was this guy on the documentary, and he was talking about, like, he had come from California. And in there he said that people always talked about Stonewall as being the beginning of the gay rights movement, okay? Which was, like, in '69. I think it was, like, June June 28th of 1969. It's right around there because it's around my birthday. I think it's the day before my birthday. I'm almost positive Stonewall was June 28th, 1969. So he said that actually the gay rights movement, there was a riot that occurred in California, in Los Angeles, or no, in San Francisco, 3 years before that. And it was at this diner that this cafeteria, Compton's Cafeteria or something like that, Gene Compton's Cafeteria. And it was drag queens and gay hustlers that were fighting the police. And that was actually the first, like, gay rights movement riot that occurred in our country. But nobody ever talks about Gene Compton's. Everybody always talks about the Stonewall Inn, okay, which was the bar in New York City, or upstate, or like north of New York, that everybody talks about, right? They don't talk about whatever, which was really interesting to me too, because I'd watch this documentary. I watch a lot of documentaries. I watch a lot of documentaries that I never talk about on here, but I'm like just kind of weirdly obsessed with documentaries. I will watch a documentary literally about anything, right? But anything to do with the LGBTQIA plus culture or world, like, especially if it's educational to me, I love to watch those documentaries because I feel like it's my history and I should know that. Like, there was a documentary that I watched called We Were Here. It's actually on Amazon Prime right now. And, it's fantastic. It is about, it's about a lot of the gay men that died in San Francisco during the AIDS, like the beginning and the end of the AIDS crisis. But it's told through the point of view of like this florist that lives there. It's a documentary, and a nurse that worked with AIDS patients, and like people that lived in that neighborhood. This one area neighborhood, I think it's like the Castro Street area. So interesting. And at the same time, we were on vacation when I watched it, because I watched 3 documentaries while we were, 4. I watched that. It was when we were in Miami, because I watched them on our balcony. I think I also watched the Gigi Gorgeous documentary on YouTube, because I ended up getting YouTube Red just for that, which or the Gigi Gorgeous documentary is actually really, really good, if you have any interest in Gigi Gorgeous whatsoever. So, but that was like the only reason that I got YouTube Red for her documentary, and it was fantastic. She was like one of the first YouTubers I ever watched. So, I watched her documentary, and then I watched We Were Here, and then I watched this other documentary. These were all on Netflix at the time, and it was called How to Stop a Plague. Now, I don't know where you can find that anymore, but that documentary is extremely, extremely powerful. And it's about the Gay Men's Health Crisis Center in New York City, and their involvement in the AIDS crisis that was going on. Parts of it were turned into a movie with Mark Ruffalo and Julia Roberts. I think it was like a made-for-TV HBO movie. I can't remember what it was called, but it was really, really well done. It was tragic and sad, though. But it's called How to Stop a Plague. And it's told by like 5 guys, and it goes way back to when like, anyway, it's really powerful. If you ever get the chance to see it, it's so good. I wish Netflix, I don't know why Netflix takes some of these documentaries off. And then I watched, I'm very interested also in the whole like Andrew Warhol like time period, and John Waters and all that kind of stuff. So I watched this documentary, and this is also on Amazon Prime right now, and it's called Candy Darling, I think. And it's about Candy Darling. It's very, very interesting. Like, if you don't know who Candy Darling is, Candy Darling was transgender, and she was part of the Andy Warhol factory with like Hollywood Lawn and stuff. And you know the song by Lou Reed, Walk on the Wild Side? Candy was one of the people that Lou Reed sang about in that song. It was Candy, Holly, and I can't remember the third one. But anyway, they were his muses, like Andy Warhol's muses. And there was this bar that they all hung out at. I can't remember what it was called, but there was some really interesting. It's really tragic and sad because of how Candy Darling died, and then nobody cared, and just kind of floated off into obsidian. Hollywood Lawn is still alive, I believe, because she was in this documentary that I just watched on Netflix, and it was about trans representation in film. The documentary is actually getting a lot of like negative criticism, and it was like produced and directed by Laverne Cox, and she's a huge part of it. But I actually thought it was very interesting, and it was talking about not just from the point of view of like trans representation, but I think any representation in film that like why is this person like putting their lights on and then lowering their lights and stuff? And it's not like when they're going up over like a little bump. But when you think about like growing up in pop culture and like how we like see ourselves and how we view ourselves, and can we find ourselves in movies and television and things like that, you know, I think it's a really important question. And I think that like identification in pop culture is how we sometimes like we like can accept ourselves on some level. Like for me, there was none of that when I was growing up. You know, I can remember coming out and you know, some of the first movies that I saw were like Jeffrey. I talked about this on here not too long ago. Jeffrey, and there was like this French movie called Querelle or something that was so bad. And then there was like that movie Making Love with Sabrina from, what's it called? I mean, that was so bad. I mean, they were all so bad, right? And then those were from like the 70s and 80s. And then when I came out, and it was like the movie Jeffrey, and every movie that came, like Philadelphia, every movie that I saw when I came out was about gay men that had AIDS. So, or gay men not accepted by their families. And so the message that you're seeing is all gay men get AIDS, or all gay men are not accepted by their families. And it was hard to see that. It was hard to watch, you know, as this young gay man coming out. And recently, oh God, this was probably 2 years ago, because I've talked a lot about this in my videos. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, I don't know if I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She's a Nigerian author, and she wrote the book Americana, and I think it won the Pulitzer Prize. And she went to Princeton. She has an amazing TED Talks, and it's called The Danger of a Single Story. If you've never seen it, please, please, please look it up. It is so important. This TED Talks is probably one of the most important TED Talks I've ever seen. I love TED Talks. I used to watch one every single day. But anyway, so Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, she talks about the danger of a single story. And what it is that when she was growing up, she would read books, right, in Nigeria. And the books that she would read, you know, would have blonde-haired girls that were white with blue eyes in them. So when she would write stories, she would write stories that had white girls with blonde hair and blue eyes in them, because that's what she saw when she read books, okay? The single story of what she was seeing. But as she grew over time and grew up, she realized that it was important to hear other stories, right? And she talks in there about, okay, so she goes to Princeton University, and when she shows up, she's talking to her roommate. And I don't remember it exactly, so I'm probably getting some of this wrong. But she's talking about how her roommate is like, I'm really excited to hear some of your tribal music. And she said, like, you know, she was rather surprised when I started playing Beyonce or something like that, Paula Abdul or somebody like that. And she's laughing, telling it. And then she said she had this writing class. And so like her teacher was like, she had an assignment that you were supposed to write about your home or something like this. And so she wrote something like Africa as I Know It. Well, Africa as she knew it was like suburban Nigeria, with houses that had driveways and, you know, the children playing in the yards and picket fences and things like that, you know? And, like, her professor questioned her and was like, this is not Africa. Like, because he had a different impression of what Africa is, you know? And that, like, as Americans, and she says this in there, and I like, this is so powerful. She was like, as Americans, and this is where the entitlement of Americans, I think, really comes to play, that we never think of it that way. She's talking about, like, as Americans, like, we only have one view of Africa. Like, we imagine that everybody in Africa lives in, like, you know, little tribal towns and huts, you know? Or we see them in, like, you know, protesting in South Africa or something, you know, for apartheid. Or like Australia, it's like everybody's like on the outback, you know, and there's kangaroos. I mean, like our idea of other countries is a single story because we're fed that by only seeing like one view of what this Americanized idea of what these different cultures are. So we only see that, and that's what we end up believing, right? When in reality, like the rest of the world, they're not just seeing one view of the United States. They're seeing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views through music, through movies, through, you know, television. So they're getting Modern Family, and they're getting, and I'm just throwing, you know, some names out, but they're getting Modern Family, and they're getting Roseanne, and they're getting, you know, Westerns from the old days, and they're getting, you know, they're getting all of these, like, you know, what New York, Sex and the City, and it's like, so they have all these different views of what America looks like. Whereas for us, other countries, we're so single-minded when we look at things that we're only seeing things. And it's the danger of a single story, right? That we believe these things to be true because that's the only outlet we've seen. But it's our responsibility to step outside of our comfort zone and educate ourselves on what is true. What else is out there, you know? And I just remember, like, listening to, somebody is texting me, it's probably my husband. I hope it's not another video because I don't really want to stop. He and Sarah love to send me videos. But I can remember when I saw that, I just was like this is, and she ended up, Beyonce actually used part of it in like a music video that she did. But it's super powerful. You should watch it if you haven't. Oh, I texted like Huron and he just did like hands praising up, like, yep, you're right. This is where I sat that one night and was looking up stuff to do with country musicians. Anyway, but you know, that's kind of to some degree how it was for me when I came out. I mean, not in the same, but in a similar fashion. And that's why I thought that this, I think it's called, oh, I don't know what the movie is called with Laverne Cox, like Disclosure or something like that. But when I was watching it, I thought to myself, you know, like on a different level, I mean, we see gay characters in everything now. So I think there's not so much, you know, in 2020, the danger of a single story with gay men. There just isn't. I mean, you can see it everywhere, right? And yet, I think the go-to is still that all gay men are effeminate and, you know, are great decorators and love fashion and musicals. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's always just still that go-to, even though there's like a million versions of what it means to be gay. Because, I mean, really all it means is to be gay is that, you know, as a gay man, that you fall in love with people that are the same gender as you. I mean, it means nothing more than that. And that can mean you're, you know, truck drivers or construction workers or in the military, or it can mean you're, you know, ballet artists or, you know, sculptors or whatever, writers, YouTubers, you know, attorneys, physicians, you know. But for me back then, I didn't see that. I only saw a single story, and that single story was gay men get AIDS and gay men are hated by their families. That was it. Those were the two things I saw that were consistent. So it was interesting watching this documentary where they were all talking about trans representation in film and how, especially how far back it went, and that it kind of fed into this idea of, like, it was really interesting to see, like, what deliberate things, messages have been put out there that you would never think about, you know, unless you were trans. Probably the same way that many people, if I'm sitting here telling you the story about how it was hard for me because I'm, like, sitting there and I'm not, you know, seeing anything. Like, I have to tell you, like, this is going to sound so strange, but, like, Madonna's documentary, Truth or Dare, was such a powerful documentary for me, because here she was on tour, and it was Madonna and her two backup singers, Nikki, and I can't remember what the other girl's name is, but her backup singers, and then the rest were basically, there was one straight man, and the rest were all gay men that were dancers, right? So Madonna had all of these gay men that were traveling the world, and which to me, I mean, to be a Madonna dancer would have been like the end, you know? Like, we listened to her music, we loved her. So to see these men in kind of like a powerful position was very cool. It was like a really, to see that was like, wow, like to be able to see that gay men could go out there, not gay men that I knew, okay, that were professors and attorneys, but were kind of in the closet professionally, you know, like, not that, but that were out there, like, living this life of excitement and fun, you know, like, that was, like, really powerful to me. By the way, all of those dancers came together, like, a couple years ago, and they're like my age now, and they did this documentary called Strike a Pose. It's really powerful. It's very sad, though. They talked about kind of like how Madonna kind of after the tour was like, she was just kind of done with them, but that part is sad. Oh, it's kind of clearing up. Maybe it'll clear up for tomorrow. So anyway, in that documentary, that about the trans representation in film, there was this one woman that I didn't know who she was. I think her name was Susan Stryker, and it said she was like a film documentarian or something like that. Okay, so, and then in the documentary that I watched about, Cherry Grove, that's what it was called, about Cherry Grove and Fire Island, there was this guy, and he was talking about Gene Compton's, the riots in San Francisco, in the Tenderloin, which I didn't really know a whole lot. I'd heard about the Tenderloin. The Tenderloin was like kind of like they called it back then, like the gay, like, bad area, like where like the poor drag queens and the hustlers lived, because they had nowhere else to go. And so I started watching this documentary. I'm almost done with it. I have like 10 more minutes, like 2 nights ago, because I watched like 20 minutes of it at a time. And it's directed by this Susan Stryker, right? It is so well done, you guys. It is so amazing. And they interview like 5 of these women that were part of the riot. And Gene Compton's cafeteria was just that. It was like a diner cafeteria that they would go to after they went out drinking for the night and whatever, or after they were prostituting, because the majority of these women were prostitutes, and they were getting picked up by the police on a regular basis and harassed by the police for being female impersonators. And it was everything from, like, if the buttons were on the wrong side of their coat. We're not talking too long ago, you guys. We're talking like 40 some years ago, okay? If the buttons were on the wrong side of their coat, 50 years ago, I guess. And, you know, if their hair was like just past their ears, all this kind of stuff. It's so tragic and sad watching it, but to know that, like, they made it out and they're successful today and they're telling their story is really, really powerful. And it's on Amazon, and it's called Screaming Queens. It's called Screaming Queens, The Riots at Gene Compton's. And it's really cool because they go in and they show that area, and they talk about this ministry that was part of it too. I don't know, there's just a lot of really great documentaries out there. And then I watched a documentary on Divine. I actually rewatched that not too long ago because I didn't remember watching it. I was a huge in high school. I'm sure this doesn't surprise anybody, but I was a huge Divine fan. My friends and I all were. I always want to see that house back there because it has like this big wall. It looks like, you know, I talked about this, like Kill Bill. It looks like that. Because you can't see behind it, but what was I gonna say? I don't know where I want to drive now. I'm like 45 minutes into this almost, and I'm like, where should I drive to? What was I gonna say? Oh, I watched a Divine documentary, and it was really, really well done. It's very sad. And the documentary is dedicated to his mother because she dies like right after while the documentary is being filmed or something like that. It stopped. And what's interesting watching it is when you watch the Divine documentary, if you don't know who Divine is, it's another drag queen that was like really big, and he was like huge in the John Waters movies. He played Edna in the movie Hairspray, the John Waters version, and just fantastic. Was in some really bizarre movies that I loved, like Pink Flamingos, Polyester. There's actually a lot of the John Waters movies that I haven't seen. And, I mean, they really push the envelope on kind of some bizarre filmmaking, honestly. But artistically, I think it holds its place. But of course, since I was like, you know, such a weird kid in high school and punk rocker, I loved all that stuff. So I watched that documentary, and it's kind of sad because his mom, through the whole thing, she refers to him as Glenn instead of Divine. And it talks a lot about how he just wanted to be loved by people. And it's a really good documentary, though. There's so many fantastic documentaries out there. I've kind of like maxed out all the documentaries on Netflix. There's not like a whole lot of Netflix documentaries that I haven't seen that I want to see. So I've been kind of going over to Amazon Prime. I have to tell you, the one channel I hardly ever, well, I never use the Disney Plus channel, and I need to start using it because there's a lot on there I want to watch. But I almost never watch Hulu. Like, we were watching Handmaid's Tale, and I don't know what happened. We got kind of bored of it or something. We just stopped kind of watching it halfway through the second season. And I wouldn't say we got bored of it. Like, my husband can just watch like episode after episode after episode of stuff, but I just can't do that. And that's why it's hard for us to watch shows together unless it's like an episode a week comes out, you know? So we need to go back to watch that. But like, I don't ever watch Hulu. And I somehow signed on for we got Hulu and Disney together, and I somehow signed on to the wrong deal. So we have commercials on there, and I'm like, and when you have Hulu with commercials, it's a lot of commercials. And you can't fast forward through them or anything. And I'm like, okay, I'm already paying for this service. Why do I have commercials on it? Like, how do I get the commercials off, you know? I'll pay the extra $2 a month or whatever to get the commercials off, but I don't know how to do that. And I've got on there and tried to fix it because you can go into settings or something, but I think it's because I got them together, and I think I have to go in and like unsubscribe and then, I don't know, and resubscribe or something. I don't know how to do it. I just need to call somebody probably. Those are like things that like are on a post-it note for like 2 weeks, honestly, on like my desk. I'm like, yeah, I need to call Hulu, and I like never get to it, and I'm like, oh well, who cares? I've always loved documentaries. Some of my favorite documentaries are, well, of course, I always get the title wrong. The Wonderful and Wild Whites of West Virginia is probably one of my, it might be my, well, Paris is Burning is probably my all-time favorite documentary, even though I know it's highly problematic, but it's probably my favorite documentary ever. It's problematic in that if you listen to, there's actually a second documentary that's very similar to it that I found, but you have to rent it, and it's like $3.99. So I may do that. But that car was like over the yellow line and coming at me over the top there. That was a little scary. But it's very similar to Paris is Burning, and it goes in and shows the ballroom scenes in New York City in the 80s and stuff like that. The thing is that Jenny Livingston, who directed Paris is Burning, apparently like did not pay the people anything and was kind of like disrespectful to them after it came out. And a lot of them were like, we were so nice to her, we welcomed us in, and she like made all this money off of it. But then it's speculative that she really didn't make a lot of money off of it. So I don't know what the truth is. I honestly don't. But she was like, yeah, I didn't make any money off of it. And then like that Octavia came out and she spoke out against her, and I think Benny Ninja, is that who it is? I think he came out and spoke out against her. There were just several people that were upset about how they were handled after the movie came out, but I love Paris is Burning. Number 2 is probably The Wonderful and Wild Whites of West Virginia, or whatever the name is, The Wild Whites of West Virginia. It is so unbelievable to watch that documentary. And I'm not talking about like murder mystery series documentaries, because I love those. Making of the Murderers, hands down, probably the best of all of those. Although that, The Keepers, and The Staircase are all, like, really, really well done. Really well done. The Keepers was so good, there just was no resolution to it. Oh, no. You know what, I'll tell you, was one of my favorites, actually, was Don't F With Cats. Like, that's probably, I would say, in the last 5 years, even more so than Making of a Murderer, that was the documentary that I could not stop watching. Like, I didn't want to watch it because I didn't really know anything about it. And I was like, is this about cats? What is this about? You know, like, and then I thought, okay, they're going to show some gross scenes of cats, which they did. They showed, like, 1 or 2 scenes that were bad. But, like, that was unbelievable. Like, people talk about the Tiger King and how much, like, and I understand why that got a lot of attention because he's kind of like this crazy character and stuff like that. But, like, nothing compared to Don't F With Cats. Like, that documentary was so well done and so put together. And that was, like, a frightening movie or documentary to watch. I loved that. And then, what else? Let's see. What's the one about the cheerleaders? I really liked that. I got really into that. The Cheer. Was it just called Cheer or something? And it was about that Navarro cheer team. I loved that. I watched that. That was really good. It actually reminded me of this documentary I'd seen like years ago on Netflix. And it was when like Alex and Fufu and I, we went to Atlanta, and they went to Chattanooga for the day. Like, they went to it doesn't exist anymore. One's called Land and one's called World, and we went to World, which, why can't I think of what it's called? The music festival. Well, I didn't go to it, they did. I stayed in the hotel room and I watched this documentary series, and it was about this a cappella singing group that was at a college, and it was so good. I mean, so good. It was just called Sing or something. I loved it. I love that American, there's 2 of them. It's like American High and American Teen. And one actually takes place in Indiana. And it's like this documentary about these kids. And it's like their senior year in high school. And they're all trying to get into like college and stuff. And the cover of it is like The Breakfast Club, but it's each of them in a different role. So there's like a popular person, there's like a jock, there's like, you know, misfit, there's like all that. And then the other documentary was like on PBS, and it was really, really well. Those were really well done. Those were good ones too. The Queen of Versailles was probably one of my favorite documentaries about the woman whose husband owned the largest timeshare company in the world. And they lived like, their backyard was Lake Walt Disney, and they were building this house the White House could fit inside of. And that was really good. I mean, because she did not get it whatsoever. Another documentary that was great, and I think it's back up and you can see it, is called Steven. And it is about this guy, and he's like a filmmaker, and he had been like a foster brother or something, like when he was in like his late 20s or early 30s or something. And he had this kid like in junior high or high school that was like on foster care and all this kind of stuff. And so he went back to visit him to see like what had become of his life. That was a really good documentary. I used to watch documentaries literally like every night, every single night. I would watch documentaries about anything. The thing I like about a documentary, if you watch it, if it's really well done, is that you end up feeling like you really know those people. You know what I mean? Like, you feel like I really know this person that I'm like watching this story, their life story about. Like, it's not just like some documentary. It's like I feel like I really know them. I used to love, do you ever like stretch your leg back so like it cracks your ankles? I used to love to watch those investigative reports. So there was actually one on HBO too. That was on A&E. But I used to like the beauty pageant ones, the baby beauty pageant ones. The one that was called, it was so sad, about the one that with the girl Jenny. And those are actually on YouTube. You can find those. I think that Living Dolls is one of them. Living Dolls has Swan Bruner in it. And she became kind of like this mysterious thing. There were actually like forum boards around about her and stuff. Because after the documentary, her mom died. And then her stepdad died. And so they didn't know where she went to go live. And people were like trying to find her and stuff. It was crazy. So that was Living Dolls. That was actually really good. My friend Courtney was in that. She's like in the background of a couple scenes, but they didn't use her. They actually shot footage of her and they didn't end up using her for it. My friend Courtney that I went to Rev with the last thing that we did with Jason before he passed away. And Courtney was Miss Indiana she was Miss Indiana USA 2009. And she had done pageants her entire life growing up. She's one of the people that's really helped me get involved in like judging and stuff like that, because I love pageants, because I grew up watching them with my mom and I was obsessed with pageants and stuff like that. And then the other documentary is the one where the woman at the end sings, "That's what friends are for." And it's like a glitz pageant that you pay a lot of money to get into, and then those people win. That was like, I think that was the investigative reports one, and that was the one that had the Jenny Livingston girl in it. I don't remember what that one is called, but that is actually on YouTube. They're both on YouTube, and I think they're both on the same YouTube channel actually. And it's really sad, and there's like, her mom is going off on the pageant, and like, I don't know, the whole thing is just really sad, but she ends up dying after the documentary is filmed from cystic fibrosis. There's a coyote, you guys look. There's a coyote right there. Do you see? Running across the street. Scary, scary, scary business. I always tell Tanya, I'm like, I always see coyotes like late at night when she's like, how do you spot them? I'm like, girl, I can see a coyote a mile away. So anyway, they always stop, like, too, like, when they cross, like, they'll get to the other side, and then they cross, they, like, stop and they look back. They're, like, very aware animals. Okay, so Jenny Livingston, she's the one that does the pro-amming, which is called professional amateur modeling or something. That's like a certain type of thing they used to do back in the day in pageants. And she died of cystic fibrosis after the movie was over. And apparently, I talked about this on here not too long ago because somebody said, they commented on my vlog, this person is being an AA, you know what, and has their rights on behind all these people. Why? And somebody commented and said that her mom actually had another daughter after Jenny passed away, and that the other daughter did pageants as well. I don't know anything about that, but that Jenny girl was really sweet. She just wanted to win so bad. I always felt so bad for her. But this is what is so funny. So, back in the day, my ex and Tanya and I, we would watch these documentaries, because I don't know if you guys remember, but this is, okay, so we would watch Toddlers and Tiaras, and we would watch these documentaries about beauty pageants and stuff like that. I also watched this documentary, or I also watched the TV show Kim of Queens. Do you guys remember that? I was obsessed with that show. I loved that woman so much. And it got canceled after like one season. It was such a great show. But it was like, her name was Kim, and she was like Miss Georgia. She reminded me kind of like the Designing Women, Suzanne Sugarbaker, but she had blonde, short hair. And she had a sister who was hilarious, and a mom that was hilarious. And the show was like, she had like a pageant coaching business, and it was a reality show. It was fantastic. And so she would take these girls in. I think she had like all girls and like one boy or something like that, and she was like coaching them. But it was really like, she built them up to really believe in themselves and have better confidence and stuff. And she was so good at what she did, and I loved that show so much. And it got canceled after like one season. By the way, every time I say this, I'm always like, there was this documentary, or there was this reality show, And it was about a family that ran a funeral home. And people always say to me, 6 Feet Under. I'm like, okay, 6 Feet Under was a show on HBO. It was not a reality show. That's not what every time I say it in a video, people are always like, 6 Feet Under, 6 Feet Under, 6 Feet. I'm like, no. That was not a reality show. This was a reality show about a family that owned a funeral home, and the woman that was the embalmer and the cosmetologist, she looked identical to my dad's nurse, Cindy, that passed away, and that just recently passed away. She looked just like her, and I can remember it used to freak me out, but I used to watch that documentary all the time, or that reality show all the time. But my ex and I, we used to watch with Tanya, we would watch all this pageant stuff, and this one documentary, the A&E one with the Jenny Livingston girl, this one woman who has like 3 kids, like a son and like 2 daughters, and they're all in the pageant system, but she works for the woman that owns the pageant, so of course her kids win every award, right? And they're like, oh my god, I can't believe it, and that's why Jenny Livingston's mom goes crazy, because she's like, this whole thing is staged and all this kind of stuff. It's just such crap. You pay all this money, and if you don't, like, you're not best friends, you don't win, and all this kind of stuff. It's the truth. I mean, she's not wrong, right? But at the same time, it's kind of sad, because this girl, like, she really just wants to win the pageant. She's also quite a bit older than everybody else in the pageant, like by several years. But anyway, so they, at this one point, they go out. I wish Tanya was in the car right now, because she would get laughing so hard, because we talk about this all the time. This one point, they're like, we have to go to Walmart. And it's like the night before the pageant, and they're like going to Walmart, and they're getting like stockings and like fake nails and stuff like that. And so Tanya and my ex and I would always, because we'd killing for going to Walmart late at night, we'd be like, well, we have to get stockings and fake nails. And we would always go to Walmart and act like we were shopping for a beauty pageant. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna look this up. Reality show about, right now I have reality snow. Reality show about, oh my god, about a funeral home. The show would have been in addition to a unique, some might say, morbid genre of funeral themed. TLC Network featured the staff of the Dallas-based Golden Gate Funeral Home and Family Plots, which aired for 4 seasons on the A&E network. TV show, Family Plots? That doesn't sound right. Johnson Family Memorial has been canceled as of. The show titled Good Grief. No, that's not it. Maybe it was Family Plots. Family Plots is an American reality series that followed the ongoing events and employees at the family-run Poway Bernardo Mortuary, and this is it. Starring, yeah, this is it. 4 seasons, 52 episodes, this was it. Shauna Wismiller Smith. She was, I'm gonna look her up. I'm gonna see if Shauna, look her up and see if this is who it is. Melissa Wismiller. I know this has to be it if I see this person. This one had glasses. Okay, Family Plots. I cannot type into this thing to save my life. reality show. Here it is. Yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. It was called Family Plots. Can you watch it anywhere? Oh my god, that was so good. Oh my god, Growing Up Gotti. Do you guys remember that? I used to watch that too. Okay. Oh my god, does it have the episodes down here? No. Watch. Family Plots. I don't want the Wikipedia. I want to know where I can watch it. I guess you can watch it. Metacritic. How do you watch it? Let's go into this Just Watch and see if they have it. Since somebody let me know about that and I love that thing. Oh, my battery is dying. I'm gonna have to get off here. Okay, wait. Family Plots. I think this is just movies because they don't have it. Yeah, they don't have it on here. Not that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Family Portrait just came up and I started hearing somebody outside. I'm like, well, it's time to get out of here. What was that movie? Anyway, if anybody can find out where I can watch Family Plots, I would love to know because I want to see that show. And it was so good. And if you didn't see it, well, you missed out. It was fantastic. Oh, I will tell you what those documentaries are called that you can watch on YouTube. Hold on a second. Living Dolls, a documentary, HBO. Okay. You can see all 10 parts. Yeah. They have all 10 parts on this channel it's called Lindsay Marie. And it says Swan Bruner, Leslie Butler. Leslie Butler's dad's got divorced too, which was so sad. And then, okay, so Jenny Livingston. Pageant. Let's see what that pulls up. I know this one's on here too because I found it before. And I was so excited when I found it. This is actually just like an A&E show. Q&A with Jenny Livingston. Did I say Jenny Livingston? This is, okay, here it is. Paris is Burning Cast on the Joan Rivers show. That's not who I'm talking about though. I was talking about Jenny Livingston. That's her name too though. Oh, that is so weird that is her name Jenny Livingston? That's the girl that I was talking about. The director of Paris is Burning is also the same name of the girl that was on the show that passed away from cystic fibrosis. That can't be. Jenny Livingston. That would be too much of a coincidence tonight. I think it comes up more under, because I've looked this up before. Oh my god, if they both have the same name and I was talking about both of those tonight, that would be so weird. Okay, that must not be her name. Girl with... I wish I knew what that show was called. Girl with... I think this might be her, actually. No. I think you guys are probably, like, so bored of this, and this is gonna die in a second anyway, so I need to get off here. Pageant. Okay, hold on a second. Investigative reports pageant. It's not pulling anything up. Why not? Well, I'm gonna have to do some research and come back and find you guys and let you guys know. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here now because I'm like going through this Jenny Livingston. I'm almost positive her name. I spelled it differently on here though. Jenny Livingston. A-N-E pageant. No, it didn't pull her up. I know I have found it on here before because I've talked about it on here before, and you guys are like probably like, Peter, you've talked about this like 50 times on here before. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here now. So sorry for that last boring 10 minutes of whatever that was. Anyway, if you guys made it this far, oh, by the way, I saw that Steven was tweeting out that people were putting thunderbolts in his video because he must have said at the end of his vlog, if you made it this far in the vlog, leave a thunderbolt. That way you know I'll watch it. Okay. That's smart, Steven. I wonder where you learned that from. So in honor of Steven, that's not new. Like, I learned that back in the day. That was called like, it's kind of funny how it started actually. Jeffrey started this thing called Notification Squad, okay? And so he would say, come to my channel if you come from Snapchat and leave like this, whatever. And it worked. It really was smart, right? So I started doing that in my videos. That's how I started the Blue Heart, honestly. So that's what I did. I was just like, but in honor of Steven today and Steven's channel, if you made it this far in the vlog, please put a thunderbolt and a blue heart in the comment section below. I love you, Steven. That cracked me up so much. But I'm happy that people are watching his vlogs all the way through. I mean, you know, he was like, this is really cool to think that somebody's like watching my hour-plus long vlog all the way through. It is really cool, you know, when you realize that what an honor it is that somebody allows you into their life, their day like that. I mean, it's so much more than just somebody watched my video. It's like somebody took an hour and a half of their life out, not just one day, but like many days in a row, and allows me to be part of their life and cares what I have to say, and maybe agrees with me, maybe doesn't, but at least just keeps like, I mean, I don't think we really understand this when you think about the amount of minutes that we are here on this earth, you know? That the people that we allow into our world, the people that we spend time with, the movies that we watch, the TV shows that we watch, the documentaries that we watch, like I'm just talking about, you know, the YouTubers that we follow, all of that, like we are giving our life to that, right? What an honor and what a privilege that someone chooses to watch my vlogs or Steven's vlogs or whatever. And the fact that he acknowledges that just even more shows me what a good-hearted soul he is. And it just is such an overwhelming feeling when you kind of get it and you're like, oh wow, like people are like really, like even if it's like 10 people, there are 10 people out there that are watching me talk for an hour and a half. Like that's crazy, you know, like, and it's just such a warm feeling. It's just so awesome. And it just is really, I don't know, it just is so meaningful and it's such an honor. And I don't want you guys to ever think that I forget that, because I don't, you know? And, so anyway, if you made it this far in the vlog and you enjoyed this vlog, please leave a blue heart in the comment section below and a thunderbolt for Steven. And yeah, and if you like this video and this vlog, please also give it a big thumbs up. It means a lot to me if you hit the like button. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure that you're still subscribed if you were, and think about subscribing to all of my channels. And also, you know, leave a comment in the comment section below if you want to. And if you don't, you can just leave the blue heart and the thunderbolt if that's all you want to do. And that's cool with me. And I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. You know, I was going to say this earlier, I forgot. But like, I've had so much fun going to the pool, and really, like, I was super conscious of it at first. Like, I always sound like my first couple minutes when I get to the pool about my weight. But like, I just don't really care. I've had such a fun time just like being at the pool, you know. I guess it was at the end and I didn't even know it. But anyway, I was thinking about that because I was wanting to go to the pool tomorrow. So anyway, I hope you guys are having, that's tomorrow, Saturday. So I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something exciting. Do something that will make you happy, and, you know, start a new book, start a new movie. If you want a cheesy but really good thriller, check out 10 by Gretchen McNeil. And if you want a good documentary, I gave you guys a list of a bunch of documentaries to go check out. And do something that will make yourself proud. Also, eat something really good. I think that's important too. We have to feed our souls good food, you know. Also, do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow, or the next day, or next week, or next month, or next year, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, or 50 years from now, or 60 years from now, or 69 years from now, family friendly, or 80 years from now, or 88 years from now, or 100 years from now, or 110, or 120 years from now, whatever, you know, if we're all still here, hopefully. Something weird happens to the world and we live for eternity. I don't know if I'd want to. I think I would, though, right now. I think I would like to live forever if I could. I don't know what that would mean, but that's for another vlog. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you tell yourself, I love you. And at least one positive affirmation, like you are valuable or you are beautiful. And say it until you believe it. And every night before you go to bed, look in the mirror and say to yourself, every night before you go to bed, look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation. I knew it was going to start going out of focus, I could tell. And say to yourself one positive affirmation, like you are beautiful, or you are valuable, or you are beautiful, or I just went through a sprinkler, or say as many as you want to say as many as you can, and say them until you believe them. And every night before you go to bed, say to yourself, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day tomorrow. I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to cry if I need to or if I want to. I'm going to spend time with family and friends if I can or if I choose to. And if not, I'm going to spend some time alone. I'm going to eat great food. I'm going to engage in all of my favorite passions and crafts and things I love to do. If I have to work, I'm going to work with a smile on my face and try to enjoy my work as best as possible. And I'm going to have great opportunities come my way all day, and I'm going to have positive experiences all day long. And if my day gets off track and I start to get a little negative, if I get a lot negative, well, I can start my day over whenever I want. And every day that you get up, when you get up tomorrow, say to yourself, today is going to be an amazing day, or you can say this to yourself at any point. These people are riding bikes through these, riding bikes at 2:23 in the morning through these sprinklers over here. And get up in the morning and say to yourself, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day today. I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance. Oh my God, my battery's going. I'm going to laugh, I'm going to cry if I want to. I've gone through, a battery and a half. Sing, I'm going to dance, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to cry if I want to. I'm going to spend time with my family and friends if I can, and if I choose to. And if not, I'll spend some time alone by myself. I'm going to eat great food, and I am going to participate in all my favorite crafts and hobbies if I can, or some of them. Maybe just take a nap and relax. Maybe I'll go to the pool. Maybe I'll sleep and relax all day because I need it. And I'm going to have great opportunities come my way all day today, and I'm going to have positive experiences all day long. And if my day gets off track and I start getting negative, even just a little bit, well, I can start my day over, or a lot, if I can start getting negative a lot, I can start my day over whenever I want. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Just reach out to them, text them, call them, and say, hey, I was just thinking of you. What's up? How you doing? I was thinking of you, good Judy. Or maybe it's somebody that you don't get along with real well, and just say, hey, I was thinking of you. Sometimes it's nice to do that as well, you know. Also practice random acts of kindness. Maybe that is your random act of kindness. Practice random acts of kindness, but like I always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the nice thing to do. It's the right thing to do. It's good to put positivity, love, and kindness and compassion out there in the world. And we could all use more of that, I think. Just get that energy, that positivity energy flowing. and that love, compassion, and kindness flowing. I know I could do a better job at it. And I love that reciprocal feeling when it comes back to me. It makes me feel good. So put more of that out there in the world. And I think that's it. So I love you guys, and I will enjoy your day. Have an amazing Saturday, like I said, and I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!